Hello everyone, it is me Vegeta T23 and welcome back to my new What If. Today we're talking about what if Saiyans and Tuffles had an agreement. Before I start, I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server for you to join. The link is in the description of this video, so if you'd like to join in and talk to me and the rest of my fans, it's there. I'd also like to mention that I created an Instagram so you can survey my very uninteresting life. I mainly post Osu stuff. Now back to the video. In the last part, we talked about the arrival of Beerus, and he had quite a warm welcome despite it being an emergency. Beerus was told about Broly and his legendary status, so the two fought. It was quite relentless though. Kakarot then summoned Shenron with the help of Bulma, and the dragon explained the whole ritual. Once they did it to Broly, he became a Super Saiyan God and went to fight Beerus. It started off much smoother than in canon, and it seemed Broly had very high chances in beating Beerus, with his power growing every second. Broly was brought down countless times, but still held up and fought up to the very end until he lost that last bit of energy he had within him. Beerus, quote unquote, fell asleep, to give credit to Broly for being such a formidable opponent, as he had a few bruises and injuries himself, but nothing compared to Broly. With the recap out of the way, let's continue the what if. Vegeta Jr. is now going somewhere with Videl, and over the course of 4 months, they form a relationship strong enough they get married. Mr. Satan gives him a cozy home to live in to compensate for that little fame he's gotten in the Buu saga. This is also the time Videl finds out that Kid Vegeta had a counterpart who went against Cell, and with that, Videl finds out quite a lot about Saiyans from him. Whis is on Earth with Bulma, and it so happens that Vegeta visits too. He then questions the mysterious angel, and Whis replies that he is Beerus' attendant and teacher, and gives Vegeta tips on how to train. Vegeta then asks him if he wants to train him, and Whis is reluctant, but then agrees as soon as he gets some good food first. Vegeta immediately whips out his favorite meals, but Whis tried out all of them already. He then asks about the instant ramen, and Vegeta prepares it for him. Let's just say Vegeta is in the training regimen now. All of a sudden, Kakarot comes over to train with Vegeta, since he has the gravity room and is weirded out by Whis' arrival. Vegeta then explains why he's here and asks him if he wants to train as well. Broly arrives too and is quite terrified of Whis, but soon realizes that Whis doesn't have that stupidish nature like Beerus, and makes acquaintances with him. Broly is then introduced to the whole training with God stuff. Kakarot and Broly are more than happy to accept. Chi-Chi comes as in the original and berates Kakarot, but he's having none of it, so he just swiftly escapes the choke, and from there, Whis and the 3 Saiyans then leave the premises. They then start their training on the Beerus world. Meanwhile, the Frieza force is planning to finally get rid of Saiyans and Tuffles once and for all. So with the help of Frieza, they make plans about the whole thing. Frieza also starts training to get better and much stronger. So for the next year, both the Saiyans and Frieza train for their own needs. Vegeta, Broly and Kakarot both train hard, and they master energy control with that. Whis then asks them to attack him for training, and they do so. He takes the opportunity to sign them as well. After a while doing training, they are fighting each other, and then, just like in the original, start to tap in the God form. After a while, more accurately 10 months, Frieza is ready to go, thinking he won't need any more power, thinking they haven't grown so much at all, being primitive and all. He then goes and begins rehearsing the plans on killing the Saiyans once and for all. He then heads to Earth. The Saiyans sense Frieza's immense power and rush over to fight him. First they had to deal with Frieza's minions, and once they all dealt with them, Frieza was next, but before any of them could make a move, Frieza destroys their city. Kakarot senses a distress from Earth from Beerus' world, knowing something is up since a lot of power levels just went down. He then asks Whis to check the Earth out, and they're surprised that the Saiyan race has been reduced to almost nothing. They then see Frieza. Vegeta knows what's up with this and knows Frieza's next move, So he tells Whis to transport them to Earth to deal with Frieza. Whis complies and they then go. On Earth, Raditz steps up with his Super Saiyan 3 and starts pummeling Frieza for a while. But then Frieza goes to his final form and tears Raditz apart. Bardock gets the same fate as well. Frieza is now impressed. With that, Frieza has more of a challenge. In his final form, that is. The two both know they can't keep it for long, so they try to grab an edge, but before they do, Frieza transforms into his golden form. All three sense their power and are now 100% positive as to who it is, and they also sense Bardock and Raditz trying to do something to Frieza. They then arrive and rush to Frieza, who is preparing a finger beam to kill them for good. But when he fired it, a blue light appears and the beam is deflected. And after the light disappears, we see Vegeta as a Super Saiyan Blue. Everyone is confused as to what that new form is, and Kakarot then briefly explains how it is a Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza is furious and with that attacks Vegeta. Kakarot and Broly help the remaining Saiyans clean up the rest of the minions, so there's no one to interrupt. Vegeta is handling Frieza pretty easily, having trained there with Kakarot for about 10 months, so he handles his own. Vegeta finds out Frieza's weaknesses and uses that to his advantage, having Frieza use it before they arrived. Vegeta then one-handedly obliterates Frieza, making him go back to his final form. Having no time to waste, Vegeta charges up the Final Flash, which he did master while training on Beerus' planet, but Frieza has aces in his sleeves of his own, shooting the Earth to the core, corrupting it, and destroying Earth. The remaining Saiyans and Whis are in a space bubble, watching and not believing what just happened. Whis tells them there might be a way to have one and only chance to correct things, so they have to correct it all very fast, and how they only have a few more seconds to decide what to do. They quickly devise a plan and decide to shoot their attacks head on, as they were all close enough to the scene. With that, Whis triple taps his staff and the time is reversed. Immediately after getting their senses back from the time reversal, they each prepare their attacks. They combine them all into a dual double Sunday infused with a Gallic gun, and they fire that very second, obliterating Frieza. With that, Frieza is gone once and for all. They all celebrate with a big ass feast, which Kakarot, Broly, and Vegeta enjoy. Raditz, Bardock, and Vegeta Jr. are nosy as always, and want to know more about the new transformation. Whis then says he can take in one more student, meaning whoever gives him the best dish, and they all agree. Bardock and Raditz compete, and Whis taste tests their food. Raditz's is a tiny bit tastier, but Bardock's is very easy to do, since one made instant noodles and the other made a high gourmet dish. So Bardock actually won, but he let Raditz take the chance. Raditz didn't take it despite him screaming on the inside. Bardock then went along with the Whis, so the Saiyans went back to training on Beerus' world. On there, they eventually meet an unknown cat, who we find out is Champa. Beerus is awoken from their babbling, and then Champa tells Beerus he has food which will be hard to resist for him. Beerus' interest peaks and he lets his brother show him. Beerus tries those eggs and they're actually nothing special, so Beerus whips out the ramen and, well, Champa proposes a tournament to see who gets the planet Earth, and they all agree. The Saiyans are so very excited. They also propose that it should be like a Tenkaichi Budokai on Earth, and he tells them all the rules. With that, the tournament is set. They go back to Earth to find more fighters, and they find them. Raditz is the only one capable enough for it, and so he's in since they don't need anyone else on their team. Now, when they have all the fighters, they are ready quite fast, but Champa is still looking for his contestants. Skipping a bit, the time for the tournament is already there. 5 Saiyans then depart to Universe 6 along with their families. They arrive on an unknown planet and Champa is already there with food in hand. With that, we're leaving things be for now. Thank you for watching. Since I really have no ideas for this part, just click dislike. But if you like the video, hit that like button. If you'd like me to cover your idea in the near future, comment down below. And as always, peace out.